It's time for the Potawatomi Fire Coaches Corner, featuring three-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danhoff, with special guest, Fire Guard, Jamal McMurray. And now, here's the host of the Coaches Corner, Chris Cox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. It's another episode of the Coaches Corner. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by Fire Head Coach Mark Danhoff, and later on today I'll be joined by Fire Guard Jamal McMurray. But Coach, starting with you like we always do, it was another successful weekend for your Fire last weekend. Y'all went 2-0. You beat a couple of tough teams. You went on the road to take down the Enid Outlaws, and then you beat the Muskogee Sky Kings here at home, and you did that on back-to-back nights. Now sitting at 3-0 on the year, you seem to really be playing some good basketball to start this season.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good weekend. Anytime you go on the road against a good team and come away with a victory, that's always a great night. And then to turn around right away and play another very good team at home, which I thought we played even better on Saturday night and Friday night. But really pleased with our performance both nights. And especially Saturday, it was a really high level performance by our guys.
When you look at that game against Enid, the Outlaws, they did get off to a fairly decent start in that game. You all, though, were eventually able to kind of buckle down defensively and take control of the game. How did you feel about the way that y'all played?
Yeah, I thought we played really well. We did get a little bit of a slow start, and I think that was really, in particular, just missing some open shots. Had they fallen, it may not have seemed as slow as it was. But, you got to give a lot of credit to Enid. They played extremely hard from start to finish, didn't show any quit, continued to battle for the entire 48 minutes, and they're a good basketball team.
Offensively, you had 7 players finish in double figures. I think you've hit that number every game this season. I know it's early in the season, but you have to be happy with the ball movement and the point distribution that you're seeing from this team.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Anytime you can get 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in double figures and you're sharing the basketball and you're getting in the area of 30 assists per game, you have to feel really good about a lot of things like your spacing, the way you're taking care of the basketball, the way you're sharing the basketball. It's just really fun to coach these guys when they're executing on a high level and sharing that basketball. But when you get that many people averaging double figures, it truly is a team game.
Yeah, and you've had 3 different players lead your team in scoring. So one guy, a different guy every single night. I think that just, again, we've talked about it already a lot this season, but highlights the depth that y'all have.
Yeah, we're a very deep team. Like I've said before, I think, any one of our guys on the roster would be starting or at least, contribute in a big way for somebody else in the league. Most of them have started in this league for somebody. So I really like our depth. I really like how everybody's embracing their role to this point. We're still trying to figure out rotations and obviously some things may change throughout the season, depending on injuries, knock on wood, or just performance. Some guys eventually could beat somebody out, but into a particular role, or even just matchups. But we're very comfortable 1 through 11. We can go any way in terms of lineups that we want and still feel very confident that we're going to perform at a high level.
It's easy to look at the offensive numbers that y'all put up and just talk about that, but obviously there are 2 parts to the game. You have to play defense too, and y'all had a really good game defensively against Enid. You held them to 43% shooting from the field, roughly 15% from deep. How did you think that you played defensively?
Yeah, I thought we were really good in the first half.
Okay.
Really executed our schemes, challenged every shot, rebounded well. In the second half, first part of the second half, I thought we stayed with that. Eventually, I thought we kind of got away from who we are defensively in the fourth quarter. And I know sometimes that can happen as the game tends to get away from you a little bit. But I thought we could have been a little better defensively. But we talked about that the next day. And we really went over some things that I thought we could have been better at. And then Saturday night, we were incredible.
Yeah.
Both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and even though, Saturday night you gave up more points, but it's also part of the style that Muskogee likes to play. They want to get out and run, and they were able to get out and run, but for the most part, you really did a good job controlling Muskogee defensively in their transition game.
Yeah, as much as they like to run, I think we gave up 5 points in transition, something like that, which is fantastic, and it's an area we've been working to get better at, and it really comes down to communicating and talking and pointing as the team comes down the floor. But I've kind of gotten over the points per game deal, because we play fast and everybody else is playing fast as well. So the game is at a much higher pace. There's more possessions. We really tend to look more towards the field goal percentages than really how many points to score. But I do like to keep it at 100 or lower, around the 100 area, because I know that we're capable of scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, and I think you also, some of those advanced statistics like points per possession, those kind of things. I mean, Muskogee took like 95 shots. They're going to score a bunch of points when they take 95 shots.
Absolutely. And we were, I think we were a 1.39 points per possession against Muskogee.
Yeah.
And,
just really good.
Most coaches would be at 1.1. You're feeling pretty good about yourselves, but we were almost a 1.4. So, offensively, that was just fantastic. And I do know that our defense created some of that offense, and that we get some credit on the defensive end, but I really thought it was our best defensive performance, early into this season, only 3 games in.
Offensively, though, it was a historic performance. It was one of the better nights that the Fire have seen since they've been around. 153 points, 5th most in the team's history. 63.4% field goal percentage, 4th most. On top of that, 35%, shot over 40% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. I mean, it was an all-around performance on the offensive end for your Fire.
No, you're exactly right. When you look at those numbers, field goal, 3-point, and free throw, you really can't find a whole lot to complain about.
Yeah.
But, to go along with those field goal percentages, the number of assists, we were really down about our number of assists at Enid. Even though it wasn't a bad number by any means, we're used to being up around 28, 29, 30, and I think we had over 30 assists Saturday night against Mosquito. Yeah, so now 35. We're back up there, 35. Now we're back up there where we like to be, and that really shows how much we're sharing the ball. We're passing up good shots for great shots, in taking shots out of our system, and when we do that, we can be really good.
3-0, 2 more games coming up this weekend. And the crazy thing is, coaches, after this weekend, you're already a quarter of the way through the regular season. I know we talk about how it's kind of a long season, but man, this TBL season flies by.
Once it gets started and you're playing a couple games a week, before you know it, you're, like you said, a quarter of the way, halfway through, 3/4 of the way. So, it doesn't leave a lot of time to go into any slumps or anything. You got to stay on top of your game week by week and stay focused and try to come out on with a good outcome in both games, if not at least one.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. And when Coach and I come back, we'll talk about this weekend's slate of games as the Fire host the Little Rock Lightning and then visit CYM. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
Brett Michaels. Live and Amplified Tour, Friday, May 29th. Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Voted one of the most electrifying and engaging shows on tour. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Brett Michaels, the party starts now.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined by 3-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danoff. Coach, this weekend, another pair of games. You host Little Rock on Friday night here inside Fire Lake Arena. You hit the road then to take on CYM on Saturday. It's another busy weekend, but I'm sure you're glad to at least have that one day off in between.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the back-to-back games, as I'm sure
Me neither.
Our guys aren't either, but sometimes you just have to do it. Yeah. But it's nice to have that day in between to get treatment, recover a little bit, and then regroup for the next game. 2 very, very good teams this weekend. 2 teams that are at the top of the standings with us in the Central Conference right now. So it's going to be a very difficult weekend, as we expect, and really looking forward to the competition.
Looking at Little Rock, they're 2-0 this season, and they've really played some good basketball to start this season. What have you seen from Little Rock?
Yeah, I think they play extremely hard. On the defensive end, they're very scrappy. They do a lot of switching. They've got some good size. They keep you off the glass. They try to protect their rim, but they apply good ball pressure as well. But on the offensive end, they really execute their stuff. I think they've kind of pulled back, not running as much stuff, but they're executing the stuff that they're running now very well. And they've added some pieces that have been really effective for them in the stuff they run. In fact, I expect to see a lot more this week because they've had 2 weeks to prepare for us and put things in and try to figure out how to gain an advantage over that time. And Coach Rousen's a very good coach. And their players are playing at a really high level. They're extremely scrappy, play extremely hard, and finding success.
Yeah, and Little Rock's always kind of been one of those teams that you knew they could just find a couple right pieces, that it was a team that could do some good things. And you're seeing that they have a big guy and Hunter Mickelson, who you're familiar with from the TBT this past summer. Ace Castle handles the point guard position pretty well. And then they put some scorers around him, and Braylon Steen and Savion Edwards and Kenny Turner. They really seem to be finding a good mix of different types of players for this roster.
No, absolutely. Steen has always been a good scorer for them. Edwards is really a nice piece for them, both pressuring the rim, playing downhill and knocking down shots. But really like Turner, good size young man who is strong, athletic, very agile, plays the perimeter, but can go post you up, slash, finish around the rim. So they've got a lot of really good players. And the thing about Little Rock, and I say this every year they get better.
Yeah, they do.
They continue to improve each year, and this might be their best team yet.
Defensively, the Lightning, they are giving up 118 points per game, but obviously hasn't stopped them from winning since they are 2-0. What have you seen from Little Rock on the defensive side?
Yeah, they just play really hard. They're going to pick you up full court at times. They're going to apply a lot of ball pressure. They will switch, whether that's dribble handoff, screens. They're aggressive in ball screen actions. Most of the time, either a switch, depending on the positions that are in the ball screen, or they will hard hedge and force you almost to pick it up, or at least take you out of what you're trying to do in terms of turning the corner, things like that. But challenging every shot and trying to keep you to one shot. So they're very, very scrappy.
Following Friday's game, you all hit the road, take on CYM on Sunday afternoon. Entering this weekend, CYM sits at 2-1. What have you seen from CYM?
Yeah, CYM is going to play the way they always play.
Okay.
They're going to press you the entire game, 94 feet, apply a lot of ball pressure. They will run and jump. They're going to get up into you in the half court. They will switch. They will be very physical around the rim, very hands-on, and again, challenge you on everything you're doing and try to finish possession, only allowing one shot. So there again, I think they've added some pieces that have really helped them continue to improve as well. But one thing you always know about both these teams, they're going to play hard the entire time. There's no quit in any of them. They love to compete.
CYM on offense, averaging over 117 points per game. What have you seen from their offense?
Well, in this case, Joel Polius has been a big part of their offense.
Okay.
He's a new guy for him, 6'8" kid, power forward who plays in the post and very strong around the rim, a lot of ball and shot fakes and pivots, trying to get you off balance, trying to gain angles to score the basket. Works extremely hard down there, really a workhorse on the glass, getting them second and third chances. But they seem to be kind of playing through him more than anything. And then they've always had guards who could shoot and guys who could play around the perimeter. So when you add Polius to that, it makes them very effective on the offensive end.
What have you seen from CYM defensively?
Well, like I said, 94 feet and a lot of ball pressure. They'll switch. They're very aggressive, physical. They're not going to give you an open shot. They're going to challenge everything and hopefully clean the glass and try to limit you to one shot.
And finally, Coach, what will it take for your Fire to get to 2-0 this season, or 2-0 this weekend and move to 5-0 on the season?
Well, we got to stick to what we do.
Okay.
And we got to continue to improve in the areas that we know are necessary for us to get better as the season goes on and have success. We were really good on Saturday night. Now we have to carry that over into this weekend and continue to build on that. You know, we can't step back and say, well, we're going to just do that every day. We got to bring it every day and force that to happen every day. So, and I think our guys will. We played extremely well. We've had a really good week of practice. And you can just see our guys really get a deeper look into who we are and who we're becoming, and the confidence just grow, and really seeing that this could be a very special team.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I'm going to take another break. When I come back, I'll be joined by Fire Guard Jamal McMurray. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
Brett Michaels. Live and Amplified Tour, Friday, May 29th. Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. Voted one of the most electrifying and engaging shows on tour. Tickets on sale now at grandboxoffice.com. Brett Michaels, the party starts now.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm now joined by Fire Guard Jamal McMurray. And Jamal, thanks for taking a few minutes to sit down with me.
No problem. Appreciate it.
You're one of the new names to Fire fans this season. And, you know, before we kind of get into the start of the season, I want to get a little bit about your background, hear a little bit about that. You've had the opportunity to play all around the world. What are some of the stops that you've had outside of the United States, and what's maybe been your favorite place to play?
So I've been to Turkey. I've been to the DR, Dominican Republic. I've also played in Belgium, and I played in Poland. And my favorite place abroad, I would probably go with Belgium, probably.
Yeah, why?
Just the culture. You know, I had a vehicle. I was able to move around, like just the access to the gym, the access to everything we needed. And my teammates, I had really great teammates, great teammates.
Basketball, even though it's the same sport, same rules for the most part, it's different in different parts of the world. How does basketball in Belgium maybe compare to basketball here in the States, especially in TBL?
I'll say the help defense is a lot different. So overseas, the help defense is more so like college. They're in gaps. Center can sit in the paint, no 3 seconds. So, you know, when you come and play this type of pro style basketball, which is more like NBA style, you know what I'm saying, is the court's a lot more open. You have a lot more access to do what you need to do in a little amount of time to get where you need to go. And overseas, that help defense is collapsing.
Yeah.
You know?
They play a little bit more zone overseas, don't they?
Definitely, yep.
And that kind of keeps somebody like you who likes to move around a lot, keeps you from doing what you want to do.
Yep.
Before we get into this season, let's go back to the off season. You were trying to decide where you wanted to go. Why was the Fire the right fit for you?
There's a lot of reasons. For one, my family can come and enjoy the games, and that always makes me happy to see somebody that I know in the stands. Makes me play well. 2, I have a son, so it's crazy because he's very smart. So at only 3 years old, I asked him if he wanted me to go overseas like I did in Poland last year, and he told me no.
Okay.
So, I had to talk with my family, and everybody just felt like this was the best fit. And then for me personally, I wanted to, come get alongside Chuck and come work on some of the things that I would be able to work on by taking on a new role. Because, normally when you go overseas, you're kind of like the focal point. Everything is around you. And I wanted to come here to get a different feel, you know what I'm saying? Just to get a little pressure relief off my shoulders and come play alongside some really good talent and Potawatomi Fire was the best fit.
You mentioned being a dad and having, family around you. Your son's getting to the point now to where he is starting to remember things. And basketball, obviously, it's a limited time span that you can play. So how important was it for you to not only be near him while he's growing up, but for him to also get to watch you play?
Man, it's amazing because like I tell him, just like he'll think of a job as in, something other than thinking that playing basketball is a job. So when I tell him that this is my job, it's just like, it's like we have fun at my job. I get to play basketball. So it's just kind of showing him early that you could do what you want to do and have fun with your work and still get paid to do what you love to do. So that, just that and just the enjoyment that I get from seeing how he smiles when he, he sees me during the game. He was cheering me on and I could hear his little voice in the background. So, all that stuff is just like gas on the pedal, like pedal on the gas. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. And it's just, I love to see it.
You mentioned getting to come here, taking on a bit of a different role, playing behind Chuck Guy, being one of the first players for the Fire off the bench this season. Typically, at least when I've kind of followed your career a little bit, you were one of the main players on your team. Well, how's the mindset changed being somebody who's now coming in the game in a reserve role?
Well, I've had to play this role too, and well, first off, it's just basketball, so you know what I'm saying, that you got to just keep the same mindset. Everything's the same, and the common goal is to win games and ultimately win the championship. So it's all about being an adult and knowing your role for this particular team or whatever particular team you're on. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know your role. That's going to help you guys win, and I understand mine, and I'm just going to do excellent in my role.
How would you describe your role on this team?
I think to come off the bench and give us a punch offensively, defensively. I bring a lot of energy to the games and to the sport of basketball. So just coming off being a leader, because I am still a leader. So with that, just coming in and just trying to lead the guys right alongside and behind Chuck and just get it done.
Yeah, I think, being kind of that instant offense off the bench, it's not something that a lot of teams have. A lot of teams will bring somebody off the bench who, can score, but also might be more of a defensive player. But for you, it's to, Chuck sets the tone at a certain level. And when you come in, you got to match that, whether you're coming in for him or you're playing alongside him, you got to match that level.
And that's what I like too, also, because like I said, it's teaching me a different role, because I've always had to play like Chuck's role, basically.
Okay.
The starting guard. But coming off, it shows me how important that I still am. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about basketball and valuing the team concepts, and I'm with all that. So
how unique is this situation with the Fire with the amount of depth that's on this team?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's so amazing. It's just seeing how when everybody gets on the floor, everybody contributes in a high capacity way. And it's like I feel like everybody on our team could be starting anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to have that experience, that's a lot of experience to have, and just to have all that and the way we compete and challenge each other in practice, just gonna get us better.
3 games into the season, it'll be 5 games after this weekend. What are you seeing from the team so far that you like, and then what do you want to see this team improve on throughout the rest of the regular season?
Things that we could improve on, I would say just on the defensive end more so, like boxing out, rebounding, not giving teams second chances. Because we do this thing where we have to get like a certain amount of kills, which is defensive stops, and we need 3 in a row to get a kill. So, that's one thing we're focusing on, because we haven't reached our mark in our kills that we want for a game.
Okay.
So I feel like that's a big thing that we need to focus on, and just talking and just probably being a little bit more vocal, so there's no confusion out there on the floor. If you just talk it out, then boom, you just get it done faster.
All right, Jamal. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach's Corner. Don't forget, the Fire are in action 2 times this weekend. First, on Friday, the Fire will be here at home inside Fire Lake Arena as they take on the Little Rock Lightning. That game will tip off at 7 o'clock, and you can get tickets online at PotawatomiFire.com or by calling the Fire Lake Arena box office. And then on Sunday, the Fire will hit the road to take on CYM down in Little Elm, Texas. That game will tip off at 2 p.m. down in Little Elm. You can also catch both those games on TBL TV and on KGFF Radio. That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach's Corner. For Fire guard Jamal McMurray and Fire head coach Mark Danoff, I'm Chris Cox, and I'll talk to you next time right here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.